Welcome back, everybody, to Waadaplaya Concussion Sub Series, Day 4 of South Africa versus India at Centurion. We had 18 wickets fall on Day 3, which was yesterday. We had 13 wickets fall today, which was Day 4, and India are on the brink of history. To review the Day 4, we have Ravi back on the show 3 days in a row, and then Mayur Bhatija making his debut
Hi,
on the Concussion Sub Series. Welcome, guys. Mayur, why don't you
thank
give us
you.
a minute overview of who you are, what your interests are, and where you come from?
Sure. My name's Mayur Bhatija, based out of Bangalore. So, been a cricket buff ever since I started watching cricket. Maybe the '92 World Cup was the first one I watched. And apart from cricket, I also follow tennis, Formula One, and when it comes to playing, I play cricket. I'm a cyclist, and yeah, I mean, Test cricket is something that excites me more than T20 and ODIs. And yeah, it's been a good year, I think, for Test cricket this year because we've seen many good contests. And yeah, it's really good to see games getting into the fourth day, fifth day, and all the teams gunning for a result rather than a draw. So yeah, that's about me. Yeah, hoping to be a regular on this series.
Very excited to have you on our show. That's great. So, Ravi, starting with you, I think the India again had a collapse this morning and
Yeah,
set 303 for South Africa. So, how do you summarize the day so far?
on hindsight, if you see, I think it is more than enough. The way South Africa batted, 90 for 4, I think with 26 wickets, India should easily win this game, provided weather permits. I think that way I'm more than confident of India winning this game. I don't see South Africa drawing if they're going to play the entire day tomorrow.
Hmm.
India will be very disappointed if they don't get good amount of overs to bowl out South Africa. But 303, it's more than enough for to rattle the South African batting lineup. But still, our middle order batting, again, which we discussed last couple of days, it's still in shambles. There's
Hmm.
no, I can't see any kind of recovery happening there. And Virat Kohli, same kind of dismissal. Pujara, Rahane, same kind of dismissals. And it's like action replay from previous matches that's happening. Only the bowler has changed.
Hmm.
Everything else remained constant. And that's a very worrying part going for the next two test match. If openers fall early, I don't see us recovering much.
So, Mayur, but if you look at it other way around, interest of time, I think we needed to press and get quick runs. So we would rather be all out as opposed to eat up the time. So don't you think we are in much better spot as opposed to worrying about batting today?
Yeah, I mean, they did the right thing going for runs because I saw the pitch report. The pitch has a lot to offer. So I would say even a 250 is hard to chase on this pitch. So Rishabh Pant's cameo was very important. I mean, the minute I was working and I heard on the commentary, Pant has come to bat, I would just went and sat in front of the TV because he's like a Sehwag of old generation to me. And yeah, I mean, there's enough in the pitch. The pitch report itself, there's enough in swingers coming in. Tomorrow, I think Ashwin will come into play. So, if not, I think max second session mid India should wrap up. But I'm hoping first session they are done with it.
Okay. See, both of you are confident that India will pull off a victory, weather permitting.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah,
South
yeah,
Africa,
yeah. Yep.
but I think South Africa, Elgar and Van Dusen partnership was pretty crucial. They both seem to have
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
anchor. Do you think South Africa gave up too early, hence they are in this spot, or did they have intention to win the game? Ravi?
I mean, they didn't have any intention to win the game. I don't see that. I thought they would have taken session per session. I think they would have read the weather forecast also. That's why I thought they anchored and they didn't go for runs. I think they went at 2 runs per over, uh, approximately. I think that shows how much of intention was there to win the match. I don't think so. Yeah, if South Africa is going, if entire day goes tomorrow and South Africa does not lose a single wicket by lunch, then they might thinking the chase. I don't see that. I don't see them chasing this target. I think India is too good enough to bowl them out.
Yeah, I think the late two wickets impacted them. Otherwise, 211 runs, 90 overs, it is doable. If you look at Gabba in India,
Yeah,
Even Australia underestimated our youngsters, but I think it
Yeah.
is a little too far for South Africa. But let's see if the weather holds up. How about spending some time about talking about Rabada's bowling in the morning? I think he's coming back into form, which is ominous signs for India and good signs for South Africa. And Giri again, 3 wickets, 9 wickets in the game. So their fast bowling department is coming into form. Mayur?
I think Janssen was pick of a good pick for South Africa. Although there were talks that Oliver should have been picked ahead of him, but with the pace he's generating, the height he has, plus he's a left armer. So left armers generally tend to trouble the batsman more than right-handers, right arm bowlers. So yeah, their bowling is coming into good shape. Probably what they're missing, I feel, is a perfect line and length bowler like they used to have back in the day, like a Sean Pollock or a one and Philander. Because yes, these bowlers have a lot of pace, they are generating a lot out of the pitch, but something that can test the batsman a lot, like a Pollock used to do or a Philander used to do, just the traditional, conventional outside off stump length. But yeah, if South Africa has to win this series, I think it's their bowlers who will win them the series rather than the batsmen. The only two batsmen that can really turn around the series for them, according to me, is probably Elgar and De Kock for their experience, and Babu Myers. He showed good resistance in the first innings. So these three batsmen have to play a big part if they have to turn it around with the bat. But yeah, their bowling looks as good as any of their old attacks. Yeah.
That's a great point, Ravi, which Mayur is making. If you look at Virat Kohli's dismissals, and if you look at Rahane and if you look at Pujara, all of them were dried up for runs. That's when they
Yeah.
forced the error. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
that's the missing portion which South Africa has right now. Otherwise, their
Yeah.
bowling combination is good. They just don't have discipline, Ravi.
I think this entire series is going to be India bowling versus South Africa bowling. I don't both the batting looks very shaky. I mean, we have to give credit to the bowlers also, but I think the way Ingidi bowled, way Rabada bowled, and that guy Jensen, I was not convinced when he got picked, but that guy showed a lot of heart, and he was consistent in his line and length thoroughly. That's why I think the Virat Kohli wicket, if you see the deliveries that he bowled before Virat Kohli wicket, he was making Virat drive. As you said, they drive the runs, and Virat has to play that shot. I know it was off earlier, but still Virat has the trouble of fifth and sixth, eighth step also right now. So I think we have to give credit where it is due. I think South African bowlers will be very confident going into next test match. If they can pull a draw, I think it'll be a huge win. I think it'll be like a win for South Africa if they can pull a draw.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
just one more point to add, Suman. I think Jansen, if you observed, first innings he got the very last wicket, which fell from Indian perspective, the 10th wicket. So it shows he
Yeah.
has a lot of heart to come back and bowl again with a lot of enthusiasm. Because on debut, you get the last wicket, you're pretty drained out. But he came back and took big wickets in the second innings. So yeah, he seems to be a good prospect for South Africa, keeping injuries aside. Yeah.
Mm. Will Ashwin have an impact on day five? Maharaj, of course, was not effective. It's not a spin friendly pitch. But day five, anything coming up from Ashwin, or do you think Siraj, Bumrah, and Shami are enough for the win?
I think the pace battery is enough, but we could see a lot of rough, a little bit of rough created for Elgar
Yeah.
as a for left-handers. I think he might come into effect if it goes to last session. I think Ashwin will be crucial. I guess if it goes to last session, Ashwin will be the key.
Yeah.
Especially if you have to take Elgar wicket. Elgar is looking solid there. I think 50 looked very solid, and he was like anchor in that pitch. I think we have to take Elgar out.
Okay. And Mayur, let's spend a minute talking about Pujara. Again, unfortunate match he had. So, do you think he deserves one more chance going into next game, or do you feel Virhari is
I was
warming?
I wanted to discuss that. Good that you brought in. I definitely feel Pujara deserves a chance ahead
Vihari
of
agenda by
Ravane.
someone.
Yeah, I saw Vihari as a substitute, and I was like, why isn't he playing? I would definitely give Pujara one more chance ahead of Rahane. Probably bring in Vihari or Shreyas Iyer because just Pujara's name in the lineup gives a bit of solidarity, and the bowlers know what he can do when the pitch is doing a lot. But Rahane, I feel, yes, overall his average is 37, which is still commendable. But you need another impact player in the middle order. I think Shreyas Iyer or Vihari or I don't know if Surya Kumar is there in the lineup of 15, but someone like that who's a busy player and keeps the scoreboard moving. But with Rahane, I don't know. He's a great player, no doubt. But with the current setup of the Indian team, the way Dravid wants to take it forward, you need a youngster in that place. If Pujara and Rahane both are fit, Pujara is enough in the middle order. That's my take.
Mayur, what has Pujara done that Rahane didn't do? Pujara
I
has only
mean,
taken it in his body, whereas Rahane at least scored in the first innings.
uh,
Tell me what Pujara has done in last 1 year for him to be in this just for the sake of being it.
I mean, I'll still go back to the Australia series. The blows he took, yes, he didn't score run, but the blows he took, it literally, demoralized the Australian attack. And I feel he can, with him just sticking on one end, it gives a lot of comfort to the batsman on the other end to playing, to play this. So, of course, as I said, Rahane no doubt has been a class apart player. Especially, I know his overseas record is far better than his record at home. But if I have to pick, I mean, I feel Pujara deserves another chance. Of course,
No,
Rane,
because
the
I
plus
feel
point again, why
Pujara
I
has
don't
not
want to
scored any
keep him
runs.
out.
As a batsman,
Yeah,
as a batsman he's required to score runs. He's not
yeah,
there to just block. He's not playing a
yeah,
university where under 12 is playing against a men where he's going to just block the balls. He's there to score runs. I understand his role is to be
yeah,
anchor like Dravid, but that doesn't mean Dravid has not
yeah,
scored runs. Right? Dravid has also scored runs. He has scored more than 10,000 runs. So all the more Pujara is not scoring the runs. What's the point of having it? Even Ishan Sharma can do that, no? Just blocking, take the hit, take
It's
the
like
hit.
a catch 22 situation, Ravi. I mean, Rahane is a brilliant slip fielder. That's why I like him in the Indian team. His slip fielding has been fabulous, even he took some good catches. But I think, yeah, maybe I'm just going
It's
with
like taking the
Pujara
place for
based on some
granted.
of the innings
It's
he's
it is
played.
it's like taking the place for granted, Mayur. I think Pujara. I think entire everybody thinks that is irreplaceable, and he's not able. We can't drop him. I mean, if we drop him only, if, for example, we
Yeah,
dropped Rahane, right? If we literally dropped Rahane in
yeah,
Mumbai
yeah,
Test, we could see how we performed the first innings of this
yeah,
Test match. Why
But
can't you
all of
drop
us,
correct.
Pujara?
yeah, all of us know that the class of Pujara. But Mayur, the point is, if you look at Rahane and Pujara, if they contribute 50, 60 runs each, look at the team score differential. Right, first innings we would have been 450 runs. The second innings we would have been 400, which is outright win. So that's what we're talking about. How can we get into that killer blow of winning the test matches of that?
Definitely,
But look,
definitely.
I mean,
So, yeah.
you're making a brave call of retaining Pujara and probably looking at
I
replacing
mean,
Rahane.
just for one more test. If India go 2-0 up by the next match, probably it's a good time to try out Shreyas Iyer. Vihari, I think, in spite of whatever we just discussed, Vihari also deserves a chance because he's
Yeah,
already went to South Africa as part of the A tour. They need to utilize his experience there. He's more acclimatized to the conditions by now. So yeah, I think Vihari should come in if we drop Pujara and if you keep Rahane, Vihari is the man I would pick for the next test. Yeah.
agree. And then let's talk about the India captain form. Now, I won't think that his form is a problem, Ravi, right? It's just that the manner in which he's getting out is worrying
Yeah,
everybody. But I don't think anybody is questioning his class. Thoughts there?
nobody can question his class. I think the stats speaks for themselves, and we have seen Virat Kohli he's a king, right? Run machine. Every batsman go through this. Sachin went through this between 2003 to 2005. Until 2005, also he went through the same patch. Every single batsman have to go through this. Virat Kohli is not a robot for him not to go. He's also a human being. With Dravid being there, I think he should be able to cope up with it and come out. Maybe the next year might be the year of Virat Kohli, 2022. Let this year go by. But I think Virat Kohli will be back. That's why I'm very confident because Dravid is there. He will definitely help Virat to address this issue. Even if Dravid is there and Virat continues this, then we can see the downfall of Virat Kohli straight away. I don't see it. If it's not improving now, then I don't see it improving ever.
And Mayur,
I mean, I
is
echo Ravi's thoughts. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking that is this undue pressure on Virat Kohli about his 71st century? We should just leave him alone and let him play, or is it is it too much to
I
expect from
mean,
a player?
He's still playing great, although you don't see nothing under the centuries or half centuries column, but he's contributing 30s, 40s. He's playing the crucial sessions. And of course, let's not forget he's just been taken off captaincy in T20 and ODI, which will definitely play in his mind. But what I love to see with this setup is you didn't see a Kohli who always shows the batsman where the pavilion is after they've got out. With Dravid coming into the scheme of things, I think he's definitely mellowed down Kohli. Okay, you are the best batsman in the world, but you got to be the best captain and win matches for India. So that was really nice to see. Kohli being a captain, like a calm captain. I think this was the first match where I didn't see him like do a drop mic or something and show every batsman the pavilion. But yeah, another 6 months down the lane, definitely, if Kohli and Dravid can, gel together well, this team definitely looks pretty good for the next 6 months, given the number of youngsters, the bench strength which we have. Next 6 months look very exciting for the Indian cricket team. I mean, next year or two, I would say, not even 6 months. Kohli
Yeah.
again, yeah, his form has dropped, but he still deserves to be where he is. He's still scoring runs. He's making the effort. It's not that he's throwing his wicket away in the first 10 balls, but yeah, he'll be back soon, definitely.
Yeah, and tomorrow is even more exciting day because we started 2021 with Gabba, and then hopefully we have a chance of doing a Centurion. No Asian
Yeah,
team has won a Test match in Centurion, and we are
yeah,
on brink of that. If you look at the form and the accuracy Siraj, Bumrah, and Shami are bowling, they should get over in the first hour of tomorrow. But Vishak thinks Elgar and Peacock probably are the two main players. Any thoughts going into tomorrow if the weather permits? Any last comments on India's chances or South Africa's chances? Any surprises coming up from South Africa?
I think if when Decock walks in, Elgar is still there. They both, if they stand together, they can spring a surprise given their experience at the international level. So I think the key three batsmen are Elgar, Decock, and Bavuma. The rest all can be taken care of.
Yeah, and weather hopefully holds off because we have a golden
Yeah.
opportunity of doing
Mm.
this. So let's hope, fingers crossed, we sign off the year on a high. This has been an
yeah.
outstanding test year for India. So all India will be rooting for the players in Centurion. Mayur, thanks for joining in. Really appreciate your inputs. Very strong opinions, which is excellent.
Thank you.
Ravi,
Thank you.
3 days in a row. Hopefully, we will
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow, and we will be all happy tomorrow with a Centurion win. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching. See you tomorrow.
Thanks so much. Thanks,
Thank,
guys.
thank you. Hope to catch